cozy sewing space, even if it's just in a corner in my living room, helps me get started. Living in the northern hemisphere does mean short days and lots of darkness. Combine that with a small dependent child, and my sewing has to get done in bits and pieces, wherever I find the time. Today I'm working on a fun little project. I never used to use aprons when cooking, but my husband is an avid apron user, and since I love sewing, I saw an opportunity for cuteness in testing out a new design. I'd like to make this into a pinafore dress one day, but I had some cotton fabric on hand that suited an apron better, so that's what I'm working on. Here I'm getting ready to iron the fabric before cutting out the first pieces. I know the right thing is to iron the fabric before cutting out, so here I am being all good. But I will admit this rarely happens. Oops. Waiting for the iron to heat up always seems to take forever. I had hoped to perhaps make it double-sided, but ended up not having enough of the initial pink cotton, so I've just used it as a lining for the top part. The darker pink cotton with birds will be my main fabric. I self-drafted the pattern based on some Pinterest inspiration pictures. This is me laying out my bodice pattern piece on the main fabric. The sound of scissors snipping through fabric is so soothing, so I'll shut up and go all ASMR on you for a bit. Laying out the pink fabric, and I could have sworn I just ironed it. Oh, must have not done a very thorough job. Here I am putting the two fabrics to each other around the neckline, right sides together. This was my first time testing out this pattern, so I was making up the construction as I went. In the future, I would attach the strap pieces first and then sew the neckline as the second step, but you live and learn. Being able to make things up and make things work is one of the things I love about sewing though. The creative problem solving really gets me. New video maker here who hasn't figured out the focus on my camera, but I'm learning through doing, so here's a lovely shot of my hair, not the sewing. I could have probably passed it off as an artsy choice, but I wanted to be real about the attempt to start up a channel and learning a new craft while exhibiting something I do know how to do. Oh, so satisfying when you can rip the fabric instead of cutting it. Did take me a few tries to get a shot of it within the frame though. Back to the machine at a new angle, attaching one long side of the shoulder straps together, and then attaching these straps to the bodice. This was where I realized doing it the other way around would have been easier. Also, I miscalculated when I ripped the straps, or I forgot how wide my bodice pattern was. Anyways, the straps are a centimeter narrower, but I decided to just even out the difference on the bodice, as you'll see me doing shortly. But first, more pressing. This is one area where I've really upped my sewing game in later years. Younger me had no time or use for ironing and pressing garments, but it really does make a huge difference in the outcome. So I take my time and press my seams as I go. Even if it does mean setting up and taking down the ironing board again and again now that I don't have a separate sewing space. Evening out the seam here, just eyeballing it, but folding the bodice in half to check it all seems fine. Now for ruffles. I had wanted to add a pink ruffle and a main fabric ruffle, and then tack them together to hide the seams underneath. But I didn't have enough of the pink fabric, as I mentioned, to do that, so only the main fabric will get a ruffle, and I'll fold under the pink lining and stitch it down to encase the seams underneath. So that could have been bad, but I caught it and all is good, so we continue adding the ruffle. Adding these is always a bit fiddly, but taking my time with it, as much patience as I can muster, and the result is rather cute. A stand for my phone here so I can look down at my very impressive script. This is where I'm gonna end this video. Because of the way I ended up constructing it, I am able to finish off my straps by closing up the last seam right sides together and then turning them inside out, and then I should have some nicely enclosed straps all finished off. The plan going forward is to add a waistband to the apron and then the skirt piece. I'm gonna have to look at how much fabric I have left. I do have hopefully a clever idea for the closure, so I'm excited to try that out as well. I have lots more content I want to bring your way. A teaser for some current projects that are also in the works. I'm making a dress for my wedding. That's a huge thing going on that I really want to share with you as well. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time. Bye!